but I never tell them that I appreciate them and that I'm thankful that I have them as friends. Welcome back to the last time I'm gonna play on the Minecraft Realms. So the backstory for this is that we're gonna end up closing down the realms for a bit just because we're all so busy with doing other things. Like I'm busy with school. Rose, the one who bought the realm in the first place, is busy with work. Erica is also busy with her military stuff, so it doesn't really give us a lot of time to play together on the realm. Like, we can all play separately and do our own stuff, but the whole point of the realm was to play with each other before, it was initially before Erica left to go to the military. But yeah, so I initially recorded a video where I toured my whole realm, just my section of the territories, but I scrapped the video because you could barely hear me, and you could mostly hear the cats right next to me instead of myself. To save you having to barely listen to me and just see like a really crappy video, I scrapped it, so now we're making this one. And I'll tour my area, but I'll also end up touring Erica and Rose's territories, or whatever they have in it. I won't go into their houses, but just the buildings that are outside, and I guess just to see what was left in the 1119 days we were here before it gets shut down. Obviously, we made a backup. Rose made a backup of the world, and when we have time to play again, we'll have it here for us, just waiting. So let's start here, I guess, now that we're in this room. This was supposed to be my bedroom, and I never got around to decorating it, honestly. I was too busy with other projects around the world to even care where I slept. And these cats were originally gonna be the citizens, just because my skin is a cat too in the roleplay. But the only thing I ever had up here was just my bed, and then I would just go back outside. Or sometimes I wouldn't even sleep in here for like a while, but I have these chests, tools, redstone, and all that. And then this area I did use a lot, and initially it wasn't built like this. I didn't have this terracotta floor, and there was a bunch more chests here, but I ended up taking them out just because I thought it looked weird, and it would of course block this window where I could spy on everybody, see what they're doing. And then this was just like a small map of what I did. I'll get to explaining all of this area, but oh, I did this to automate my fuel. Never used it, so I would just put it directly into here. Brewing, never got to brew anything. There's a zombie somewhere. In this area, this was supposed to be like I don't know what the word is, terrace, I think, and I could see my whole like courtyard from here. I never finished this. This actually is supposed to be a whole wall that covers this, And then we'll talk about that monstrosity later, but this never got a floor. This never got windows. Never did anything here, just left it open. This also never got this, like this little design on this side. And then the corners, I never ended up filling, but I think it looks better not filled in just because I hop around this area just to get inside quickly. I wish I had gotten more flowers. The only flowers I did get were these two, just because I can bone meal them and get a lot of them at once instead of having to go hunt for all of them. And then my fountain. This wheat farm I used for I think 2 days after I built it, and I abandoned it just because it wasn't giving me enough food. But this is the outside. A mailbox that also rarely got used, but it did get used a few times. So the style of house I went was more of a villa or hacienda. That's how I originally searched for it. And even though haciendas are usually like Spanish houses, they're not really Latin American, just because Spanish came in, purged the land, and then they built these houses that unfortunately look pretty but have a bad history attached to them. But I wanted to make an hacienda, and this is what I got in the end. It doesn't really look like one, but it's more like a villa more than anything. So then out here, I was initially gonna make a road that stretches to the other lands, just to like the border of them, so it'd be easier. My poor cows forever stayed out here in the cold. This was my terracotta town, which is just leftover terracotta that I had dug up while terraforming. Because initially, I made my house too big and it didn't fit, so I had to shave off the mountain, and then I got left with that thing in the outside. But it's just all the types of terracotta that naturally spawn, and then I have other colors that I did make. And then obviously the same goes... Why is there a dirt block here? Yeah, the same goes for the top, which is just only 2, I think. And 1 blue! That's so sad. But yeah, I made it near the end just to fill up this spot over here. Just because it looked really empty, but it fits the aesthetic, I guess. This bridge I never finished. And then right here, I was gonna put a map. I tried to do it on my own. Horrible. I was gonna ask either Rose or Erica to come and help me, just because they also have maps and they did it themselves. Never did it. My poor chickens forever stayed in there. This cat here, the first one I got, and sadly she fell in there and I never got her out, so she's gonna end up staying there. Flint, it lives in the stables I built. This was also near the end. It just has this little room, pretty spacious, honestly. And then over here we have a well. This is a little bit morbid, but it's right next to the house and it's the graveyard, and thankfully we only had 1 death on my territory, at least. This was David. So the story of David is he was a zombie villager, and I healed him, and I brewed a weakness potion just to turn him into a villager, but I left him outside when he was still a zombie. So he was like transitioning still. So I come back because I was doing something while I was waiting for him. And I come back and he's on fire. And then he stops being on fire because he turned human. But then a zombie comes from like the sides where there's trees and just attacks him and kills him right there and then. It was horrifying to watch. But this is an area that goes into the mine shafts. So let me just give you a visual of how far this mountain was. This mountain was probably, hold on, let me show you. Was from here. Right here. This whole thing. That way was mountain. So I ended up having to shave it down and then try to make it so it looks smooth. I got halfway done and I'm just gonna leave it. So I left it and now it looks kind of ugly. The bottom part looks good. The top part looks decent. But the middle, I just left it with stone. So it looks weird. But this is where I did my enchantments. I was gonna fix this area a bit more, but I never got around to it. I just enchanted my tools and I was just out of here. But here are my things. Other things, I never finished my netherite armor. Like I needed a bit more actually. Something's gonna come and heal me. I have a sword. I left everything in my chest. So in case I don't get like reset properly, hopefully my things are still in my chest. But this stair actually was a huge pain in the butt to carve through, especially this area. But here was, oh, I also shaved this down. That mountain was right up here. I had to shave it all back just to have more room for the news station, the Crowcliff News. See, look how much terracotta I got. But there was that, and I won't get to build it just because the world already got backed up. So anything new I do isn't gonna get saved. So we'll save it for a different season, I guess, or until the world gets turned on again. Right underneath the stairs, I was probably gonna change that wood just because I don't use a lot of oak on this side. It's mostly acacia, terracotta, and sandstone just because that's the most resources that are here. Down here is the mine shaft. Miners, you could put your stuff here, your beds, just to set your respawn point closer. And here, I was gonna put initially like cages just because in the backstory of Crowcliff is that there was monsters living in the cave and they got released when they started excavating for gold. And just because I like the shape of the mountain here, there's more cave down there, and I won't go down there just because it's just cave. But I was gonna have giant cages down here, and then on this side, I won't show it, but because it's just a spider spawner. No, there's an XP farm that I made just because I needed the XP. So, but I don't think I ever told the other two that it existed until the world was almost gone. I made this path down just because I was tired of having to climb up and down the mountain, and it was just time consuming. and I just wanted an easier route. Here is, I never named this village actually. I just sort of came in and started trading with them and noticed that their village was kind of lacking. They originally had this waterfall, and it does need fish, but they didn't have a pond here, so I made this. And then this was like this was a building block for the villages. So I just estimated how much of the house was needed, and then I would obviously go back and detail them and finish them. Never got to it also, but I did add beds. Look, there's so many of them now. There was only 2 of them when I came into the village. And just because we need villagers a lot, I thought, you know what, let me just patch up the holes and make more houses so that there's more villagers and all that. This is where I mostly spent all my time building, because this took a while. And then another dock. Up there's a little park. There's not much to it though. See? But this is like a town strip, just with like businesses. So obviously we have a sweet shop. And then some of these were apartments. The city council building. And we got bar and diner. This is the resting and health center, just if somebody couldn't make it to their bed in time, they could go in there. I man-made this. There was just like a dip in the land here, and I was like, I should add a bridge, and I did. But this was going to be like the meeting area, or like a guild almost. And this is where you could put up like advertisements for your shops and all that. Or let's say somebody needed slime, somebody could go and find slime for you, and you would pay them and all that stuff. This was gonna be like a neutral point for the 3 of us, so you couldn't wage war here. I think Rose's theme was an oasis, so that's why there's a lot of plants. This is Rose's house. It looks really pretty. Oh, that, I don't have the resource pack anymore, but that's supposed to be corn. You'll see the church. There's a whole cult for this. We actually, in character, had a dispute about religion and how Mayor Beans does not believe in the corn gods. So, and obviously Rose's land does believe in the corn gods. And for a few months, I was banned from the shops. Like, I couldn't go in here. I forgot what I said, but I sent a letter. And through that letter, I think we resolved our dispute. Tailored hats. I don't have the resource pack for this anymore, just because something happened to my resources and mods. Like, I think I did something and it just wasn't working anymore. Like, the texture wasn't working, it was just black. But these were all little hats that you could wear. I initially had like a top hat, I think, and it was purple and it was really pretty, but I died with it and I don't know where it went. This plant keeping the building afloat, never for sale. I wonder what these are. I guess just wood. My tears. I never noticed that one. Church of Corn. See, this is where the corn people visit. Oh, look how pretty this is. Oh, the sad music's playing. Wait, I'm gonna... Erica got the planes, so we have... I believe Erica was gonna tear this building down because it didn't match the rest of the town. Over here she has these fields. This I really liked when she made it. It just looks really nice. Look how pretty. And then she has the little huts here for the villagers. This was also really pretty. Look how huge this thing is. And there's also the mini waterfall. But look at how pretty this is. Obviously, if it was daytime and not raining, it would look prettier, but there's just a lot of greenery and look so pretty. But this did take a while, I believe. I don't know how long exactly. This would be a beautiful house to live in. And then she obviously has beds here. And on the other side, it's the same. Now it's time to say bye to the realm for a bit only, just to help save money for our one friend that is sadly paying the $10 for a realm. But it is true that we weren't playing as much as we might have wanted to, or as much as we did in the first couple of months when we made the realm. But it is a little sad to think about it, that we put so many hours into this realm, and even though it is just going to be paused, it's not going to be lost forever. uh, it is a little sad to think about the reason why. Also, is that we're not kids anymore. We are adults now, and we don't have hundred of hours to play Minecraft with each other or hang out in Discord like we did during the summer. And because we just have other responsibilities now, and even though we don't have families, thankfully, and all that, we just want to get better at our careers and our jobs. And sadly, that comes with the sacrifice of not having a lot of time to be with your friends like that. During the pandemic, so really early in the pandemic, I think we had just initially heard that we were gonna leave school for 2 weeks. This wasn't the point where everything was gonna get shut down yet. Everybody thought we were going to be just gone for 2 weeks. It was like an extended spring break. That's what everybody thought. And obviously those 2 weeks went by, and it turns out we were going to go into lockdown. And I, at the time, because I remember it was in March when we had our lockdown, at least in California in my school. I was gonna turn 16. I was 15 at the time. And I had just met Erica, and then Erica introduced me to Rose, and then we thought, you know what? Let's make a Minecraft realm together. Because we had initially just met. I think one of the first messages to each other was, I finally found my people. And we just started playing Minecraft. And the setup was so scuffy. We had to spend a few minutes every time trying to all of us log in, just because we were one playing on Bedrock and we were all playing on different systems. I think Erica might have had her laptop at this point, I don't know. And then poor Rose went on her phone and it would heat up, and then I was on my Xbox, and I didn't really use Discord a lot before that. I had it for a while, but I never used it. So I was really slow with learning how to maneuver and all that stuff. And when we joined call, I had like really busted up Beat headphones, and when my Beats eventually like gave out, I would put the phone like right on top of my chest, and I would like talk into my chest just because just so that they could hear me. And it was really a scuffed up setting, but we always ended up playing for like a few hours every day we could. And eventually, they stopped joining just because it wasn't a Minecraft like official realms. Like, I wasn't paying the $10. I would just join a server and then they would join with me. It was just that. And then eventually that ended up leading to me getting a PC from the flea market, just because I didn't know if I was gonna really get into the whole PC thing. I was perfectly fine with my Xbox, and I always will be. I love my Xbox to death, even though I get clowned for it in the Discord server. And after that, we would play Roblox games together, and that's when we started doing Roblox, because Minecraft, I couldn't run Minecraft a lot, but I could run Roblox, so we started playing Roblox Horror together, and it was so much fun just staying up late during the summer when it was so hot, and just playing Roblox with them, and just like talking and laughing with them. And I remember one time me and Erica went absolutely bananas over like a Michael Jackson reference I did. And poor Rose was so freaked out, she didn't know what was happening. And then obviously we played like the Mimic and we played SCP games, and it was just those hours where I didn't really have any obligations. I wasn't doing anything. I was just playing. I was just being a kid. And this was all obviously during the summer, so it was like, I think I was still 16, 17. And then obviously that isn't the same anymore. By the way, I'm 19 now. So 3 years have passed by. In those 3 years, I've managed to graduate high school, get accepted into a college, and in a few weeks, I'm gonna finish my first year of college. And then 3 more years, and then I get my degree. We've all grown up, and even though we are still friends and we still play games together, I don't think it'll ever be the same as it was when I was 17 or 16. And us trying to make things work with our scuff settings and all that. And the server shutting down just made me remind myself of those times back then and how much I really enjoyed them. And I'm getting sad. But I don't know, it just reminded me that I'm not a kid anymore. And I won't ever get to be a kid anymore. But, you know, we still make it work sometimes. We still sometimes join calls on the weekends or maybe Fridays if we get lucky. And we still try to make it work. We still, because even though we are almost adults, we're almost 20. The oldest of us is almost 20. Not this year, the next year. It just, I don't know. Something about it just makes me so sad. But I'm also glad that the memories even happened in the first place, you know? That I even got to play with them in the first place. And that how far we've come as like a little trio, that's the Curse Trio, to now playing, to still playing together. Yeah, this is, I guess, my bye for the realm for a bit, just so when we have more time together. And who knows, maybe this will be the actual last time I'm in the realm. So who knows, maybe it'll actually close down for a while. But I don't think so. You'll still see the Curse Trio together. We're not breaking up or anything. This isn't a breakup story. This is just me appreciating them when they're not here, because I like to clown on them and all that stuff, but I never tell them that I appreciate them and that I'm thankful that I have them as friends. And I'm happy that they introduced me to each other because I don't know, I'm just really appreciative of them. And I hope that all 3 of us can stay friends for a really long time, even if we are states apart, if we're countries apart. That there will still be a time where the Discord server is still open and we can join a call and just chat. But yeah, we gotta stop being sentimental. I'll see you in the next video. I don't know when this one will actually be uploaded. I don't know if you'll actually see my face in the next one, but this is so sad. I'll see you guys later. Bye.